All right, this is going to be one-part review of this Gripzilla Dynamo and then also an update on the SportGrips Revolution 2.0. And then I'm going to compare these two together because they are so similar, and some of you guys kept pointing out this Dynamo and asking me to review this one because it's, I wouldn't say significantly cheaper, it's still up there in price. I'll flash in the screen, I don't know at the top of my head, but I paid for this from Amazon. I do have a link down below for this, as well as the SportGrips as a discount code if you guys want to help save money and also support me in the channel, any one of these products here. I've gotten to know Marty pretty well over at SportGrips, and if you look on their website, they have this bold claim that this is the best grip and strength training forearm tool that's out there, with all things considered. The whole interview with Nick, one of the co-owners, you could say is a little biased because I had one of the owners on there. But they did say, go ahead and check out the Dynamo, which is the closest comparison, and tell me what you think of it, and you'll kind of see for yourself. And they did say it's a decent product, it's not a bad product. I did try to reach out to Gripzilla based on what I heard that this is pretty much manufactured and a whole Chinese-based company. I don't know if they have a whole lot of a point of contact. It does seem like it's more marketing heavy is what they really base this on. If you're on Instagram, whatever, I see their ads all the time for their Tornado 2. But this one is really the direct comparison to this SportGrips 2.0. Which I will say is kind of a mini update. I've been using this thing very often. Usually it's every other day. If I take, maybe if there's a break in between, it's 2 or max 3 days off in between. I love this thing, not just saying that. I wouldn't be talking about it if I wasn't. Should go without saying, it's a relatively cheap-ish kind of tool, so my kind of kickback financially is not that much, if anything. So as far as incentive to kind of push these things, there's not a whole lot. I'm just really talking about something that I just actually do like. So I'll get into that here a little bit. So first off, really quick, to highlight the points about the Revolution 2.0 SportGrips. This thing's holding up really well. Again, it is USA made of aluminum, more thicker build. To kind of pause here before I jump the gun, I forgot to get into this with the update. I have noticed, at least for me, I mean, I don't think my forearms are gonna turn into Popeye immediately, but from doing this a little bit, I can tell at least through visuals, it seems like it could be placebo effect, that my forearms get a little more vascular and they kind of pop in a little bit more. I'm kind of cold right now, but especially as I start doing this, they start to kind of get a little more vascular. But looking through videos, it seems like it. My grip does seem like it's a little bit stronger also, just from judging it from picking up like my heavier dumbbells. Stuff that used to feel a little more heavier in the hand just feels a lot more solid. So according to me, as far as what I'm kind of gauging it off of, my grip has gotten better. If you want to see an update more how I kind of use this thing, I have my own unique way of kind of working it, so to speak, but I can get into that maybe in a future video. All right, getting up close with the Gripzilla Dynamo, then I'll also compare it directly to the SportGrips Revolution 2.0. Do you think they got to change the name of this thing? That's the only caveat, because I always forget the name of this product here. I do like the name better, this Gripzilla, as far as the brand and just the name Dynamo on this one. So it does come in this box, and then inside this little duffel bag / carrying case. And then kind of just basic branding on the back of the box, tells you various activities or things, you know, improving your grip and forearm strength would get you. Talks about its versatile use, its durable build. Now here it says solid anodized aluminum and steel construction. So built for bulletproof quality and endurance. Now this is an alloy steel, is what it's basically saying on at Amazon description. So it's not 100% aluminum. This one, I would say arguably is better quality in the sense that it is 100% aluminum. So it's a little bit lighter, but also this is supposed to be a higher grade aluminum according to, again, the guys over at SportGrips. And this is also USA made, so you can take that whatever you will with that. Just want to add that in there. Not to say this is bad, I'm sure it's plenty durable and will last you a while. I'll get into that. Then it just says adjustable resistance and then compact, durable, eco-friendly materials. I'm not sure what that's all about, but pretty much just basic marketing on that box. Up close with the Gripzilla Dynamo. Got a nice little branding there. And then see it says Gripzilla here on the side. Now this is actually a negative in my opinion. I would ditch this if they can make another rendition of this, because the problem is when you're going in to make the grip, your hands are like this. And when you're kind of going side to side, my middle finger here, I lose a lot of good solid grip. So sometimes, especially when it gets pretty strong, you know, you start to really lose. Every little grip counts, and like even here, this is pretty stiff, and what I really feel giving the most is this middle finger. So unfortunately, that's kind of a downside about this. Knurling is fine. It's nothing, you know, it's definitely not bad. It's not super aggressive. Definitely a thinner grip. It's a little bit wider. Thinner grip compared to the SportGrips. You can see SportGrips a little bit more kind of stockier compared to that, but the grip is also much thicker in this one compared to the Dynamo. To give you guys another shot up close to the Sport Grips. I actually said I wanted more knurl. They tried to find a nice sweet spot because some people think this is too aggressive. You need it to be somewhat there, otherwise you won't establish a solid grip. I feel better connection with this thickness, so going from this to this, as with many things, if you're not really used to it, you might not find it that big of a deal, but this is maybe like I said, dumbbell standard grip is what this feels like, but I'd like it to be maybe just a tad bigger, but if you're looking for all different types of populations, it might be the best. How you adjust this, and I'll show some shots of me taking it apart. Very simplistic in its overall mechanism, and I'll just pause here before I get into that because some people have commented, well, why don't you just get a wrist roller, it's pretty cheap. There's actually some fairly expensive wrist rollers. I actually had a company reach out to me to review theirs, but I don't know, I just feel like this is really, I think, substantially better than a wrist roller because you can adjust the tension whenever you guys kind of want on the fly. The progressive overload just is there, just much easier. It's much less cumbersome machine than a wrist roller. Basically, it does the same function, same muscles, flexion and extension, and a lot more versatility with things you can kind of do and exercises more so than a wrist roller, in my opinion. And the biggest thing compared to this and a wrist roller is you're not supporting your weight. You don't have to hold it up at 90 degrees with your shoulder. You can oftentimes, when I'm doing the basic back and forth, my hands are down and kind of like in my lap basically, instead of supporting my shoulders. There's no need to really overwork your shoulders if you don't necessarily have to. You could certainly do that if you really wanted to. My point is, this I just think is a better device compared to wrist roller. Just a number of, again, flexion, extension, exercises. Oftentimes you get into various positions too, which I can show you maybe in a future video if you want to see it. But what I want to show you, again, the mechanism, very simple. There's just kind of a little sleeve underneath here, and all you're really doing is just tightening down this so you're increasing the friction of this thing right here. So first thing is, you know, when you're comparing it again, I don't really want to try to just do lip service. There's pros and cons, I guess, but this is just a much, in my opinion, user-friendly way of getting the resistance. Both are equally hard, and people were saying like they want to get, like, they're making like an XL version of this later. I don't even think that's totally necessary at all, because if you go full bore on this, there's a spring in here, and this is a lifetime warranty. You can make it where you're barely moving it. So actually I can even tighten it down even more. So I just want to show you completely closed. It's barely moving. So any crazy beast that wants more than that, I think this is going to fit the vast majority of people as far as what you can do with it. So spring loaded, again, it's a lifetime warranty. So if you don't like that spring, you could argue that maybe this is a simplistic mechanism, not a lifetime warranty on this one. I say at the end of the day, I like both these products. If you want to save some money, the Dynamo makes sense. The downside is though, if it breaks, you're not backed by a lifetime warranty, not made in the USA. A little bit more cumbersome, just user-friendly aesthetics isn't as there compared to the Revolution 2.0, which you can, again, it's just a flick of the knob up top to tighten it and loosen it. And aesthetically it looks good, made in the USA, all that good stuff. So you are saving, I think, maybe $50 to $60, something like that, from this to this. That could be substantial, but for that peace of mind that you might like, I would say Revolution 2.0 is the way to go. Both these, though, are surprisingly big hits for me. I could see this being, of all the different things I've tried that are smaller, from like my isokinator, my Bullworker, Isobow, stuff like that. This is now my ultimate go-to forearm device. I do feel like I don't necessarily have to work forearms as directly because I'm usually training it on those off days. Typically it's in the evening when I'm using this thing, as it's starting to kind of, well, it's evening right now. So when I'm usually kind of working. It's pretty hot in this gym actually right now, so I'm gonna try and wrap this up. But overall, I really like this thing. I think if you're comparing the two, this is, in my opinion, just straight up better than this one. Not bad, but if you want to save some extra money and just test it out, let me know if you have any questions, comments, and thoughts on it. Again, discount codes and also affiliate links are down below. I'll see you in the next one.